Good morning, everyone. Right now, me, Eric, and Miss Luna are in New Jersey. It is an absolutely gorgeous day out today. I have so much that I need to catch you all up on in this video, but first I want to show you all this beautiful sunset that we had last night. I don't know if Luna is going to participate in the Q&A today. She seems pretty sleepy. Hey, my sleepy girl. I wanted to film this video to give you all an update about how I'm doing since I uploaded this video, and off the bat, I can tell you all that I am doing much better. As you all know, this has been a very crazy summer for all of us in the aviation industry, so I just feel like I was starting to get to a point where I was having more days where I wasn't enjoying my job than days where I was. So I ended up taking a step back, and I actually haven't flown in about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks. I have about 4 or 5 more days off until my next trip, and let me tell you, mentally, this has been like the best decision that I could have made for myself. Not only did I take a break from flying, but I also took a break from vlogging and filming as well. I just needed to like completely take a step back and honestly just reset. 6 of these days that I have taken off have actually been part of my annual vacation time, so that worked out really well. What I've been up to over the past week and a half is Eric and I flew to Las Vegas and we stayed with my parents for a few days. We also were able to see my sister, and we attended one of my childhood friends from gymnastics, her wedding, and it was just an absolutely beautiful day. And then we flew back to Dallas and stayed there for about 3 or 4 days, and then came to Pennsylvania, and now we're in New Jersey just for the weekend. Originally, we were going to drive back from Pennsylvania to Dallas this weekend, but long story short, Eric has been trying to get a doctor's appointment for his foot for the longest time. He tore it or broke it or something a few years ago when he was playing soccer in Brazil. He's just always had issues with it, and this summer he was finally able to get an MRI, and now he has a doctor's appointment that's set up in, I think it's about a week and a half or 2 weeks, and that's in Philadelphia. So it didn't really make sense for us to drive back to Dallas right now for him to just have to turn around and go see the doctor, and especially if he has to get surgery, then it just makes sense for him to— Luna, what you barking at? Luna, come here. What you barking at, crazy girl? Luna, what are you barking at? I posted a Q&A on Instagram because I haven't just sat down with you guys and had just a chat in a while, so I thought that would be fun to post the Q&A and answer some of your guys' questions. If you weren't a flight attendant, where would you see yourself working? This is a hard one because I honestly could see myself doing so many different things. One of the questions that I got was, did I go to college and what did I major in? And the answer to that is yes, I went to the University of Denver. That's where Eric and I met, and I majored in journalism. So originally I wanted to be a news anchor. I really wanted to work on television, but then when I toured some news agencies and I didn't like it. I just had a bad feeling about it and just knew that it wasn't for me. And then I thought I could work for a magazine or like National Geographic because I really wanted to travel, which I still think that would be really cool to do that, but you need a lot of experience, and it's a very, very hard industry to break into. I actually started a travel blog before a YouTube channel, and it was called Jetting Julia. Totally failed. I wasn't passionate about it. So that was all the things that I kind of did before I became a flight attendant and then started my YouTube channel. So I feel really fortunate that I'm able to both use my degree with my YouTube channel and also have another job that I love, which is being a flight attendant. So I feel like if I were to have a job like outside of being a flight attendant, I would still love for it to revolve around travel, or honestly, I think I would love to like work on a boat or something like that too, because I love the ocean. So I think a job where I could be out at the beach and on the ocean every day would be really incredible too. I think I would be pretty happy doing that as well. How do you budget on a flight attendant salary? This is a really good question, and I actually do have a video on my channel that talks all about salary and being a flight attendant if any of you are interested in that. But one thing I will say is that when you first start out, you do not make a lot of money. As a flight attendant, the pay is pretty low. Also, there are definitely ways that you can make it work. I try to pack all of my food for my trips, which definitely helps save in food costs because it can get really expensive to constantly be eating at the airport or ordering food to your hotel rooms. I would say there's a lot of just lifestyle changes that you have to make. Maybe you don't go out to eat as much, you don't get your hair done as much, maybe you don't have the expensive gym membership. There's a lot of different things that you can do to still live within your means on a flight attendant budget. And it's also important to remember too that you do get a raise every year with the airline industry. I'm pretty sure that's across the board. I'm pretty sure every airline you get a raise every year. And also the more trips you pick up, the more money that you can make too, which is always helpful. How fast did you hear back after applying to an airline? So I think this really depends because the application process is different for everyone. For example, the airline that I am currently at, I applied for in June of 2017. And I did not go to training with us until March of 2018. And within that time frame, I also had a few different interviews with other airlines. Most of them did reject me. And then I also did go work for a regional airline. Someone else on here asked too, like what the regional airline I worked for was, and that was Horizon Air, was Alaska Airlines regional carrier. And I was based in Seattle, Washington. I really enjoyed my time there, and I do feel like it really helped me dip my toes into the aviation world to see if this is what I really wanted to do, and I absolutely loved it. So I knew that if I loved it as much as I did working for a regional, then I would love it just as much, if not more, working for a mainline. I did see some questions on here about the difference between regional airlines and mainline, and I think the biggest difference between them is regional airlines are typically smaller and they fly to more like hometown destinations and smaller cities. They don't do as many international routes. Mainline, think of like bigger carriers like American, United, Delta, and those airlines do a lot of the overseas and international routes. Okay, next question is, what is your passenger pet peeve? I would say my biggest pet peeve is if I'm briefing the exit row and someone has their headphones in and they won't take them out, they're not paying attention to me, or I start the briefing and they just immediately say yes. And it's like, okay, thank you, but I have to give the full briefing and then get a verbal yes from each and every passenger that's sitting there. And I get it. I know you've already been told 100 times that you're sitting in an exit row, but you're gonna get told one more time, and I need that verbal yes as the flight attendant that you're okay sitting there. So I would say that's my biggest pet peeve. What is something you struggle to stay positive about? I think this is a really good question because you all see me here on my YouTube channel and I'm super happy, bubbly, excited every day, which is true. That is my nature and this is how I am in real life, not just on camera, but I do have my own struggles as well. And I think something that I've been struggling with recently to stay positive about is, I guess, just where I'm at in life, if that makes sense. Both Eric and I really want a house, and it's difficult because the housing market is just crazy right now, and we were actually looking over summer at houses. It was like 50, 60 other families were there as well. And our realtor had even told us that we needed to be willing to put in like $20,000 to $30,000 over the appraisal price of the house just to bid on that house and hope that we get it. And even if the house were to appraise under what we put down as an offer, we would still have to hold up that difference. And for us, that was just like, oh my gosh, how can we commit to that right now? And I think I struggle too because I do have a lot of friends who are, at different stages of their life where, they're in houses or they have kids or they've just, I don't know, I just feel like they're a step ahead of me sometimes. And I just have to remember too that Like, I'm only 26 years old. I've only been working for a few years. Eric hasn't even been working for 2 years yet after grad school. You have to take a step back and just remember that we're all on our own timeline and that these big life events are going to happen to us one day when it's meant to be. So that's something I guess that I've been struggling with a little bit, is just trying to not compare myself to other people, and especially comparing myself to other people on social media, especially women. I struggle a lot with body image. I've struggled with this since I was like 13, and ever since I've been told to lose weight because of gymnastics. Without getting like too deep into it, I have struggled with like food and body issues since I was a teenager, and I'm still working on all of that to this day. I'm getting better, but sometimes I kind of slip back into old habits, and lately I've been kind of feeling like that, just comparing myself to a lot of like fitness influencers on Instagram and YouTubers. Beauty standards are so dumb and so stupid, and it's like, and I know that, and I tell myself that, but sometimes it's so hard to believe the advice that you give to others and the advice that others give to you as well. That's something that I am working on, and one thing I do to help with that is just positive affirmations, just telling myself that, like, I am beautiful, I am loved, I am happy, I am living my best life, just all of these different like positive things that I can tell myself. I journal it a lot. I say it in my head and out loud. So I guess those are the things that I'm kind of trying to do to combat that. Physical book or e-reader? I'm gonna say that it depends on the situation. So I honestly love both, and I never saw myself as someone who would like to read from a Kindle. But what I will say is when I'm traveling and I'm on airplanes, I absolutely love having the Kindle because it's just like bright in front of you, and you don't have to turn the overhead light on, and it doesn't bother the person next to you. And when you're traveling, it's so much easier because it doesn't take up any space in your luggage. So for that, I'm gonna say Kindle, but if I am just at home, relaxing, not traveling, then I like to have that physical book in my hands. There's just something about having the book there and, just flipping through the pages with your fingers that it's just so satisfying. I always, every time I do these question boxes, I get questions in here about marriage and kids. And as most of you know, Eric and I have been together a little over 5 years. We are super happy together. I definitely think that we will get married one day, but that's just gonna be when the timing is right for us. We're not in a rush for anything. And he knows that the day he asks me, obviously, like, I will say yes. For me, the most important thing that matters is that every day Eric and I make that commitment to one another to love each other and to choose each other through the good times and the bad times, and to be faithful and to always be there for one another. And whether I have a ring on my finger or not, that wouldn't change. And as for kids, I would absolutely love to have children one day, but I also think that I'm equally as happy without children as well. Like, I don't feel like I need to have kids to feel fulfilled. But if Eric and I get to that point one day where we want to have kids, I'm all for it. But I'm also okay with not having kids as well. Where is your dream destination that you have not visited? I would say my dream destination is probably Bora Bora or the Maldives, where you can stay in those overwater bungalows. Oh my gosh, those just look absolutely stunning, just absolutely beautiful. And yeah, I'm putting that out there. We're gonna go there one day. I know we will. Where do you and Eric plan on traveling together next? Ooh, that's a good one. I'm not sure. So about a month ago, we went to St. Thomas, and that was an absolute blast. And I think the next place we would probably travel to would maybe be a cruise, because we love cruising and think it's so much fun, and I really want to go on one. So I'll have to talk to him about that. Maybe we'll go on a cruise soon. I've also seen a few questions on here about if I plan to celebrate since I am nearing 100,000 subscribers and what I would do. So first off, I just want to say thank you to all of you. We are so close to 100,000 subscribers. I can't even fathom that there are that many people on the internet that actually care about me and the things that I post in my life, and it's just been a complete whirlwind. But yes, I definitely want to celebrate. I just don't know how yet. I think I might throw myself a little party, maybe a cake with some balloons, or I don't know, just something fun to celebrate the achievement. I don't know, what should I do? What do you guys think I should do to celebrate 100,000 subscribers? These are all really good questions, so thank you everyone for asking, and if you have any more questions, put them in the comment section below and I'll do my best to answer them. But I think we are actually about to head over to Stone Harbor for dinner.